you for allowing me to be here.
I would like to welcome you all to our virtual literacy event. Good morning, everyone.
I'm Michelle Hardy, the Giving Guru.
Greetings to all the students.
Thank you for having me. I'm so delighted to be with you all today to share our love of fitness.
Hi, Dr. Houston. Thank you so much.
Hi, Tori.
Hi, Dr. Houston.
We're different. But I stayed brave and I showed kindness to all even when they weren't kind to me.
And they always come equipped with a smile and grace for when you enter the place.
Before Hannah, he started to cry. 2 tears burst from his eyes, and in
Ask your parents for choices. All parents provide choices for them.
Means so much to me and my daughter Bria, and probably also for other parents like children like Hannah.
Tammy, wasn't this a great event?
It was incredible.
Sheka and Tammy on the Collaborative. Let's go! The Collaborative. 1, 2, 1, 2. The Collaborative. What's that time?
On Facebook Tuesday at 7.
The Collaborative. Who we have?
We have our leaders. We have our teachers and our parents. We have our authors. Story time at the end. Solving problems in our education system. Men and women.
Join them on Facebook.
On Facebook Tuesday at 7. The Collaborative.
It's that time. You're with Sheka and Tammy.
The Collaborative.
Phenomenal ladies. It's educational. On Facebook. The Collaborative.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of The Collaborative. We're so excited to have you all joining us. Hey, Sheka.
Hi, Tammy.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You had a good day?
I did. How was yours?
It was great. Been a great day. Busy.
Yes. And, we had our regular meetings today.
Yes.
Testing as well.
Of course. It's time to wrap it up, though.
Yes. We're counting down the days.
Yes.
Well, as people are joining, we see Principal Hurt is with us.
Hey, Principal Hurt.
Thank you all. And thank you. He always compliments our introduction. So I have to put this plug in for Melviny, the young lady that I posted on my page. She has a new release out. That is her voice that you hear singing on our promo. She used to be a former student of mine, as well as a CHS graduate. She's a HBCU graduate, and she was a staff member for us last year where she started our CMS News team. So Melviny, if you have not downloaded her new single that she has, go to my page. It's in her bio. She is the one who does our promo along with Wade Young.
Yes, super talented. Thank you, guys.
Yes. So I know Tammy is very modest. She doesn't like to brag on herself. So that's why she has me. So the huge announcement that I have posted in several places about today, Tammy's school was selected. She has done such great work during the pandemic, growth like, no one has seen just during the pandemic, because a lot of people didn't experience growth during the pandemic. And when you saw her scores and everything was in the green, now Principal Hurt School is probably one also that had lots of growth, but that is not common in what was taking place during the pandemic. So first, I want to commend her and her team, her teachers at Great Falls Elementary.
That's where the credit goes, Sheka. They are an incredible group of people. They work real hard.
They are. And I just want to commend you all for your work. But NWEA, and if you're not familiar with who NWEA is, it is a testing service. It's a research-based, not-for-profit organization that creates academic assessments for students in K through 12. Currently, people have used their assessments in 9,500 schools and districts in 145 countries. Well, our school district uses NWEA. And what they noticed about Tammy's school was this phenomenal growth that I'm talking about. So they chose her school for a case study. And not only is her school featured in this phenomenal case study, but Tammy is now a blogger for this national not-for-profit organization that's in 9,500 schools and multiple countries. So let's please commend Principal Taylor for her accomplishment. And, you know, when we're talking about equity and diversity, that has been a big topic. Principal Kafele's book is out, and like he says, it's on fire. People are buying it everywhere.
Yes.
And I just posted Tammy's picture. We have bought it as well, and diversity and equity is so important. So it is important for people who look like us to be at the table for national organizations like NWEA. So we are thankful that they have recognized her school's work, and they recognize the fact that equity and diversity is something that is important to them as an organization. If you go to our website, they are listed as an affiliate for us now for Create and Educate for our company. So we are excited about this and excited to make sure that representation is there, because it does matter. And that Tammy will be contributing to this blog, and you will hear that through her voice and posted throughout the world through NWEA. So go Tammy.
Sheka is a very ridiculous person. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Opportunity.
Yes, that is huge. And when you're talking about, because what's your first blog on, Tammy?
It's on how racism impacts the brain development in young children.
And so when you're hearing that through your lens and not through the lens of just someone who, you know, has studied it but may not have experienced certain things, it makes a difference. So we are super excited about this affiliation with NWEA, and super excited that they have recognized the work of Tammy Taylor and her team. And she has put Chester as well as Create and Educate on the map. So thank you all for making sure you were here for our grand announcement. And
thank y'all for those kind words. Sheka is so ridiculous. I have her for this reason, absolutely. But I do want to say how humbling it is, because when you have a team like I have, and you have the kind of teachers who don't mind doing whatever it takes, that's why we were able to experience the kind of substantial growth that we saw this year. It's because the teachers didn't accept that we were going to have to compromise instruction because of the pandemic. They committed to doing what had to be done, and they got it done. So I'm very, very appreciative. And I'm really appreciative for Monica Rodriguez and the team at NWEA, because they've been great to work with as a person who's contributing through the blog. So I do appreciate you, Sheka. But it's time for you to move on to that next thing. Thank you.
Doesn't like to hear good, nice. Like for people to brag on her. She's very modest, but that's why she has me. I will brag on her all day. So if you are joining us and you are an educator, a parent, a community member, or an author, let us know where you're from. The entire reason that we have put the collaborative together is so that we can come together and unify around problems and topics in education. When we are in silos, parents here, educators there, we're not talking, we're not communicating. There's not a lot of power in that. There's a whole lot more power in when we are unifying and when we're together. So I always talk about with my parents how we are partners with them. So we also want to partner with you on the collaborative and make sure that we are making education better for our children, because they are definitely what matters. So please share this on your page, invite other people to join in the conversation. We have some awesome guests with us today. So who do we have with us, Tammy?
Oh, I am so super excited. We have two tech gurus with us this evening. We have Mr. Maxwell Witt and we have Mr. Kevin Saleska. Hi, guys. How are you all?
How you doing?
Well.
Good to see you guys.
Likewise. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for joining us. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Kevin. I'm sorry.
No, I'll say thank you for having us.
Oh yeah, we're super excited. We know you guys and are so humble to have you with us, but let us introduce you guys to everyone who's watching so that they know who we have the fortune of having on this evening. And we'll start with you, Max, if it's okay. We'll start with Mr. Maxwell Witt. Max always knew he wanted to be an entrepreneur. He was very entrepreneurial minded and would always come up with ways to innovate everyday problems he would see. Maxwell went on to study business management and entrepreneurship at college, which is where he met his soon-to-be co-founder. This is also where he started to see the problems in the education space as he used a software called Blackboard for 4 years of high school and 4 years of college. Although his peers and even professors would complain about using Blackboard, he found that this software was considered the gold standard learning management system, which is where his idea for a more streamlined approach to academic and administrative software came from. Looking to gain some experience post-graduation, he went to entrepreneurship events where he was lucky to have met his mentor, Gerard Adams, who is an angel investor and serial entrepreneur. At first, Maxwell worked for Gerard as his assistant, but went on to become his apprentice and helped him create his accelerator called Founders in Newark, New Jersey, where he mentored startups. It was through that experience that he gained the confidence to pitch his co-founder, Kevin Saleska, and pursued Integrate with the dream of innovating the education space. And that he has done. Welcome, Max. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
It's a very lovely intro.
And I'm going to introduce everyone to Kevin. Kevin Saleska is a first-generation Haitian American who was the first person in his family to go and graduate from college. Growing up, Kevin struggled in education because he grew up in an underprivileged community that provided little help to students falling behind. And like many first-generation Americans, he had little help from his parents with schoolwork. Eventually, Kevin's parents and principal decided he should be held back. If it was not for his fourth grade teacher who saw something special in him, Kevin would not be where he is today. Kevin's fourth grade teacher told Kevin's parents that all he needed was a little extra attention after school to get him on track. Kevin's parents said they did not have the finances to pay for a tutor, but his fourth grade teacher insisted on helping for free. She taught Kevin his learning style, time management, and organization. It was because of that fourth grade teacher that Kevin went to Fairleigh Dickinson University almost entirely for free, studied abroad 3 times, all expenses paid, to London, Italy, and China, and went on to work at one of the big 4 accounting firms. Is that EY?
Yeah, EY. Yeah.
Okay. Not quite feeling satisfied with his work as an auditor, Kevin decided that he wanted to give back to his community. So he got involved with a nonprofit called College Lingual that was focused on helping first-generation Americans go to and graduate from college. Eventually, Kevin was pitched the idea for Integrate, which immediately resonated with him because Integrate provided an opportunity for all kids to have the same kind of help that Kevin had from his teacher through a software. In January of 2016, Kevin went full-time on Integrate with the dream of transforming the education system by helping students become the best versions of themselves through cutting-edge technology. Wow, that is an awesome testimonial. Welcome, Kevin, to the Collaborative.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's an honor to be here and talking to you guys too.
Thank you. And I'm really glad you shared your story about your teacher and, how those challenges and how that was able to help you move forward. You were very specific about what helped you, and that could help other parents and teachers as well, help other children.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I still remember that time period in 4th grade, shutting down. And most people don't think in 4th grade you can shut down, but when you really shut down, you're not engaged. But when you get that little extra help, it can actually take that kid to the next level.
It can. And I am so thankful for your 4th grade teacher that saw something in you. Those are the special types of educators that we really need in schools to really push our students where they need to be.
Absolutely.
So, guys, what are you all reading? We're the literacy leaders here on the Collaborative.
Of course. Max, you want me to go first? You want to go first?
Go for it, Kevin.
All right, cool. So what I'm currently reading right now is it's this 3rd edition. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And this 3rd book is called Guiding to Investing. So it shows you more about investing is not just something you just put your money into. It's more about planning and who you are as a person. So it's the reason why I'm choosing it, because it's a time, we're living in a day and age where it's good to know that you're not putting money into snake oil.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And for myself, I am actually about to read a book called Conscious Capitalism by John McKay. It is for anyone hoping to build a more cooperative, humane, and positive future. And it's something that Kevin and me, I think, both have to read for a program that we just got into. So I'm really excited to dive in.
That's so good. We're going to have to get some investment tips from you guys.
Sheka, Deborah teaches a class on Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So we have to
wow.
Oh, that's awesome. You'll have to have Kevin in as a guest speaker.
I'm going to tell her.
And Tammy and I, of course, we are always reviewing books. So we get books in the mail almost every day or every week. This book, Expose It by Mrs. Ivy Caldwell. She is from King Street, South Carolina. She talks about her childhood trauma that she experienced in the book, and how a lot of times children are silenced from trauma. So she teaches people, if you've gone through any type of trauma as an adult, how to overcome that, and some strategies that you can use to help yourself heal through that process. So a lot of our students have experienced some traumatic episodes, and sometimes the parents have as well. So I think it is awesome that she has told her story and is also trying to teach other people how to deal with trauma. So we will put her information in the comments after the show.
Yes.
That's definitely what I needed.
Yes, definitely. And because we are an education show, we always do our On This Day in History. And so for this particular segment, we have, let me share my page. Tammy, can you do the banner?
Yes, I did.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. No wonder I couldn't find it. All right. So here we go. On this day in history, we have Miss Bessie Coleman. And I thought this was a very interesting fact that I didn't know. Bessie Coleman was an early American. She was the first African American woman and first Native American to hold her pilot's license. She actually gained them internationally, but came back to the United States from France and did lots of different competitions and air shows. But even back then in 1921, she was able to earn her pilot's license. So this was back when, there weren't many rights for women, African Americans, or Native Americans. So for her to have the resilience and the perseverance to do this is definitely inspiring. So we wanted to
and on an international level.
Yes, definitely. So we just wanted to make sure people were aware of that fact.
Yes. And on this day in history, Taylor was born. Today is Taylor's birthday. So happy birthday, Taylor.
And if you all are not familiar with Taylor, that is Tammy's husband, Pastor Keith Taylor, the owner of Taylor Soul Food Restaurant in Rock Hill, South Carolina. All right, so guys, we know you all fairly well, and we want our audience to get to know you all. So we picked out this special getting to know you segment. We use this as a strategy a lot of times with educators, and even parents can use it. Here it is. Would you rather? So this is our technology edition, especially for you guys. So do you all prefer, and we'll start with Kevin, text or call?
I prefer to call. I'm old school like that.
Okay. What about you, Max?
I like to call as well. I think it's more personal.
Okay. Tammy?
Call.
I'm a text person. I like text. Call me if you need to. Okay. All right. Video games or computer games? We'll start with you, Max.
I would say computer games.
Okay.
I would say video games. That's the last time I played video. That's the last time I played games.
All right.
Yeah.
And I really don't play either one. Now, I do play games on my cell phone. Some of those little word things, my sister and I will text back and forth with those, the word searches. That's about it.
Oh, that's fun.
Tammy, do you do any games?
Yeah, I do play games. I like video games.
This is a surprise.
That's the best way to distress sometimes.
Definitely.
Yes.
And this will tell us a lot about you guys. iPhone or Android?
Android.
iPhone. It's always a debate between the two of us.
I am definitely iPhone. Tammy?
iPhone.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Well, guys, thank you all for just letting the audience get to know you a little bit better. So the reason why you all are here, of course, is to tell us about your phenomenal software. So what is Integrate School and Integrate Technology?
Max, I'll let you take it from there.
I have a dog that is barking right now, so I've been muting myself on and off. So if you want to take it, I will fill in from there.
No problem. All right. So Integrate Technology. So Max Integrate School is a software that we created to help streamline the whole system, so teachers and admins wouldn't have to use multiple systems. So you could think of our system as a way of uniforming the teachers using the best practices. So one school using our software can be different from another school. So for example, school A, they use our software in a way to making sure that teachers, first-year teachers, have a partnering up with teachers who are 10 years. So then they're collaborating with their lesson plans. And we see it work best at middle and elementary. So you create your lesson plans, you collaborate with another teacher, and then you're also able to, for our next feature, are able to map your state standards. So an admin can see how they create the lesson plans, how did the state standards map with the lesson plans, and you can also make sure that it has equity tied with it, so that the student can actually have a more personalized experience from that lesson plan created with the collaboration with the whole community. Because our software is more of a community-based type of software where everybody's collaborating with one another, and admins can save time by just making one announcement and everybody knows what's going on. So think of our software as a collaboration and communication tool that helps schools to be more efficient and timely on their assignments.
And just to follow up with everything Kevin said, the value that we're really trying to bring is we want to make admins and teachers' lives easier. We want to help with compliance. We want to save teachers time on creation. We want to help admins with transparency into what teachers are teaching. And we want there to be a better understanding on how much of the state standard is being used and how accurate the lesson plans are, and allow for some automation on the management as well in templates and things like that.
That's awesome, guys. What type of feedback have you all gotten about your software, especially during the pandemic? How has it helped people during this time?
So that's a great question. So just some of the feedback that we've been getting from our customers has been, the process before COVID has been through email and Google Docs. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we know that admins will be printing out a lot of those emails and reports. And that wasn't necessarily an easy process to bring into COVID when everybody went remote. So having a whole process that is focused on being digital was a nice transition to have during that time period, that it saved people's time. It made things a little more streamlined. And it was just a little bit of an easier transition.
And the other feedback we've been also getting was the user interface has been amazing for them. So one of the amazing parts they liked, one of the amazing things they liked was no matter what age group you were as a teacher, either you were 6 years old or 18, mm-hmm. the user interface was so simple that all they needed to know was 3 buttons, 1, 2, 3, and they were able to accomplish their tasks. Training took no longer than 30 minutes, so teachers were happy that they were able to retain the information taught. And teachers love the fact that they can communicate within the club. They can communicate, and it worked best really when it was during a time period where you couldn't be next to your colleague. The software made it feel like you had a community because you were able to work from home, collaborate as if the person was next to you. So those are like one of the biggest feedback that we got was the collaboration piece and a seamless user interface that helped them accomplish their tasks much faster.
And collaboration is really, really an important part of an administrator's goals for making sure that their teachers are able to have that level of camaraderie within that instructional realm. Can you guys share like what some of your features are and what some of the features that you plan to introduce are going to be for the product?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with having the chat functionality. Everybody in your school has the ability to message each other straight through the application. We've recently added a feature that allows you to receive emails if you would like. Anytime you receive a message through the app, or anytime a lesson plan has had a comment added to it, if it has been approved for classroom use and things like that, just to make it a little more seamless in terms of having that instantaneous feedback and knowing when you get it, just for quicker turnarounds. And also just having the ability for admins to see exactly when lesson plans have been submitted. They can order it by the class, by the teacher. They can filter classes and just have a quick way of really seeing exactly what they need to see as soon as it's prepared for them.
And one of the other features that we plan on putting later on from based off the request is we're also going to have a parent log as well later on, where admins can see the transparency of parents. When the last time teachers were communicating with the parent regarding disciplines or a student skipped class. So you're able to have like that kind of transparency because we just know that the parent piece is like a big piece for keeping the village all together.
You're exactly right. And that is one of the reasons why we invite parents to this platform And just speaking from the standpoint of an administrator, having all of that in one place where we're not having to go look through binders or having to have teachers to email us. Like if we're talking to someone on the phone, and just can click and go to, hey, here's that log. I know that they talked to you on this day, because sometimes we do get some conflicting information. So that would be great for administrators, just to have that, at the touch of a button.
Definitely.
And the streamline is what is really a nice feature, it sounds like, Sheka, because sometimes a learning management system can be very overwhelming. Like you get just so much and there's so much coming at you. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like what you guys have tried to do is streamline that enough so you get what you need from the LMS, and at the same time offer those opportunities for teachers to get in there and get their hands in the mix while getting those collaboration sessions together, whether it's through them looking at lesson plans together, or if it's the administrative team looking at lesson plans with them and giving feedback, because that actionable feedback is also something that is really crucial in making sure that everybody, as you mentioned before, Kevin, I think said, you want to make sure you're keenly aware of what's taking place in those classrooms, and what you described before, Max, with what you guys have put together will allow for that. So kudos to y'all for thinking outside the box and trying to make the process easy for teachers and administrators.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it was as much as we would love to take all the credits, this was like group efforts from educators who's been in the space for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. So this whole software that we created was with the help of educators like yourselves who actually cared about changing the whole space. So we had, because when we were designing the software, we made sure we had educators in the same room with the engineers from different backgrounds, such as public, private, and charter schools. Mm-hmm. And just getting their feedback in the process of developing software got it to the point where it was really flexible to be in different environments. And that's why we use differently based off the use case.
And that's one thing that we like about you all's company, that you value the voice of the educator and you really try to get that feedback to improve, because sometimes our voices are not considered. Sometimes we're not solicited for what we think is better. It's just kind of pushed down. So the fact that you all took the time to do that really speaks volumes to
very impressive
product you have. Definitely. How much of your story, Kevin, that you talked about or that I read in your bio with your experience as a student, how did that impact how you all developed this? And then how did this influence why you all both decided to do ed tech? And of course, Max's reason may be a little bit different than yours.
Definitely. So just to make sure I'm answering the right question. So what was the first part of the question?
The story about how you were, your experience as a student, how much of that influenced your work with what you're doing now with Integrate Technology?
Got it. So the reason why from where I came from in an underprivileged community was like the burning desire to keep going forward when I wanted to stop, when the times got tough, because I just knew that if I gave up on pushing this software forward, that's like me giving up on all the kids who are just like me around the community, around the world, in urban communities who has so much potential and they just don't have the resource. And I just knew that if I just stopped, I felt all these kids who need that extra help. And I'm no one special. I just know that I was fortunate enough that I had a teacher who actually cared, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even be talking to nobody. I would never have met Max. I don't know if I would be going to college. And I just know that that's like the burn desire till this day that keeps me going. Even when I want to quit, I just know if you quit, you failed everybody who is just like you, and everybody's depending on you to push this software to the next level. So everybody has a fair chance of reaching their full potential, because I just know all the kids who look just like me in those community have so much to offer, but don't have the platform to take them to the next level. And that was the reason why I wanted to push this platform to where it could be globally known, so every kid can go to school, go to college, go to who they need to be, so that they can reach their full potential before they pass away. And I'm passionate about that because I just know that things could have been so much different if I didn't have that extra help. And if our teacher didn't give up on me, why should I give up on all these other kids?
That's awesome.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what about you, Max? What is your the reason why you decided to get into ed tech?
So similarly to Kevin, I also struggled tremendously in school growing up. And I actually wound up giving up on myself. I felt that I was trying a lot harder than my peers for the same or worse grades. And that became very discouraging. And I think that as I matured and went to college, I realized that this was my money and my time, and I would never get this back, and I can't waste it. So I wound up focusing solely on my academics, bringing myself back up to where I needed to be. And, just like you said in my bio, I've always been someone who was interested about improving things around me. And that's why I was inspired to improve education, because I thought that there were a lot of things that could be fixed through improving technologies, especially that, when I was going to college, 1-to-1 laptops in K-12 was becoming a huge thing. And that meant that a lot of new software was going to be coming in. And with new software and more software, that means there's going to be a need for more management on how do you make all these different software talk to one another properly? How do you collect data in one place and make actionable decisions with that data to really grow people and understand students' strengths and weaknesses and grow those weaknesses? Mm-hmm. So similar to Kevin, I really wanted the opportunity to help people that were like him and like myself, so that less people could struggle or would struggle.
And we love that you guys call it integrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, put everything together.
Yes,
definitely. And seeing a child's whole picture really does tell a much better story than just looking at one test score, looking at that in comparison with attendance and some other factors, information about the parent contacts, all of those things matter. So the fact that you have that in one platform, I think is very innovative and is something that is solving problems for educators. So thank you all for what you do.
Thank you very, very much. And like Sheka, I love that whole look at the total child. That's a part of the mission at our school, that we focus on the total child. So having something that helps and allows you to look at the total child at a glance is an amazing experience.
Definitely. Gives you a blueprint of who that child is. So then you know exactly how to personalize that experience.
Definitely. And I'm impressed with the fact that, that you talked about your teacher that encouraged you and how you were able to study abroad in 3 different countries. That's amazing to have that level of exposure that a lot of people, children at promise schools, sometimes they can't envision themselves in sometimes places outside their community, much less another entire country. So one of the things that we do as literacy leaders, we create literacy events, and just that same thing, what we're talking about, exposure. We've taken one of our authors' books that we're working with, I Am Brown, by LaToya Lewis, and she is actually an educator in Dubai. So she has taken her character, and she has a little doll called Brayley, the character from the story, and she's taking the children through the story, but through places in Dubai. So Brayley is traveling all around Dubai while she's reading I Am Brown. So we are very happy that that is underway, and everyone will be able to register for that. We'll put the Eventbrite link on our page, but tell parents who are tuning in, and even educators, what was your experience studying abroad? Why should people consider encouraging students to study abroad? What did you gather from those experiences, and how did it help shape you?
Definitely. That's a very good question, Sheka. Very good question. First, I would also like to give a shout out to Max. He also studied abroad too.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah. So,
I mean, just you guys.
Y'all are holding back on us.
And Max, while Kevin's talking, why don't you put in the chat how people can get in touch with you guys?
Okay, absolutely.
Definitely. So, what study abroad did for me was it shaped me as an individual. Because when I was going to school in America, New Jersey, I thought I knew who I was. I was thinking I wanted to be an accounting major. I wanted to be an accountant. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to get into business at all. I was just thinking I didn't want to take care of the payroll. I just didn't want to deal with the headache. But when I studied abroad to London for the first time, that's when I discovered who I was. And the reason why is because I started understanding the culture. The culture shaped my perspective. Because when you're in America, you're in a bubble. You're in this culture that you really can't escape. You could go different states to state, different type of vibes, but it's not the same when you're going abroad in a different country and you're talking to your peers who's also learning about themselves. And then you learn through who you are because everybody's identifying you as an American. And then they can also point out the American way of thinking, and you get to see the way you're thinking, and then you're able to trade notes on like understanding of who you are as an individual when you're away from everybody. And that was the best way I started discovering myself. Like, wow, I started seeing interests that I started liking and started getting engaged in different content. And then I got the hunger of just learning different cultures because it was feeding my soul. Then afterwards, when I came back to America, I got another second opportunity to study abroad in Italy. And that's when I had to learn the Italian culture. And that's when I started. And my last exam was an Italian exam. It was no English. And it was literally no paperwork. You're just speaking with the Italian professor. And at that moment, I learned that your brain's able to adjust if you're around a certain culture that don't really speak English. And you're able to start picking up on it because you start realizing that people start saying the same words over and over and over again. And then you're able to pick up on it. So then that also shaped my mind into understanding like, wow, the possibilities are endless. If you put yourself in the right environment, you could do anything. So then I started realizing I need to surround if I want to go somewhere, you can tell where you're going to go depending on the 6 people you're around all the time. So I was around people speaking Italian all the time. Then I started to learn how to speak Italian. I'm around entrepreneurs. Now I start thinking like entrepreneurs. So I had to it made me more aware of the surrounding of like, what are these people doing to me? Because when I went to Italy, I started understanding about influence. Influence really changed the person. And influence is so subtle. You don't know if someone bad influence, even though you may think you have strong will, but never underestimate influence because influence can change the human behavior, and then it can slowly get inside you. So then that's when I started understanding like, okay, let me be mindful. I may have great friends, but let me be mindful of who I'm spending my time with because their influence can over time be a compound effect. And that was the effect I got from Italy. And then when I went to China, that was like another culture shock where the bathroom was even different and their chicken was actually really juicy. I was surprised about that. The KFC, I don't know what was so different about their KFC and our KFC. Standing out a lot to me. But like some of the culture shocks over there was I seen some of them drinking hot water, like just hot water with no tea. And I was just like, okay, I don't know how they do that, but that's really, really a culture shock for me. So just like the architect of like how they had like how their buildings were all set up. And one of the most beautiful things that I just love about the Asian culture is they do this dance after work around 5 p.m. called Tai Chi, where they play the music, no matter what age, everybody just comes, all the strangers come together and they all doing this dance. And it's just so beautiful because when you're in the East Coast in America, people don't take the time to be around the family to just appreciate the small thing or have like some type of ritual each day. Where when I went to Asia, I just saw how they made sure no matter how bad the day can be, they made sure that they had some type of ritual of just enjoying each other moments, of just simply dancing and exercising one another. So like all of those experiences shaped me as the person who I am. And then when I started going to Ernest & Young, I just knew that Ernest & Young couldn't contain me because I was a different person. I wasn't the same person that I originally wanted to go. So I became such a different person that all I could think about was, how do I transition? This Ernest & Young, I just knew was a stepping stone. And reason why I knew it was a stepping stone is because I read The Alchemist, the book, The Alchemist, that helped me understand that if you want to find your personal legend, your true personal legend, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable situations. Learn how to be uncomfortable, because pain is how you grow. With no pain, no growth. And all of these experiences shaped me for the entrepreneur I became today. The reason why I used to study abroad.
That's awesome. I love that. I can't wait till my husband gets home, because that's what I'm going to tell him. I talked to Kevin. This is why me and the girls are going abroad. We've got to have this experience so that we can all find ourselves. But no, seriously, that's an awesome story, Kevin. And some people are really apprehensive about letting their children go abroad or, go to another country. Some people are apprehensive about them going to another state. So for you to share that, I think is important for people to hear how great of an experience it could be to help their children develop. And we should be encouraging that more in schools, because those opportunities do exist. But a lot of times, because we don't know about them, we don't talk about them.
Exactly, because the thing about it too is it's one thing, because one thing about when kids of people of our color who goes into college, they don't realize the best thing to do outside the classroom is to make as many friendships and join different social groups. And when you go abroad, you make those same friends overseas. And now when you become an adult, it's no longer networking. You have friends around the world. They can tell you what's going on in different countries. You get invited to different weddings in different countries. They fly you out depending on their financial situation. But you start understanding that the world is a big playground, like God's kingdom, where they're children, everybody's playing with one another. And if you don't try to see what's out there, expanding your own comfort zone, then you're going to be contained like a golden fish, just like in that little circle, not knowing what's out there.
Well said, Kev. That's the one thing I was going to add, is that it's easy to forget how we live in a bubble. And, your city's a bubble, your country can be a bubble. And that the more you get out there, you really start to learn just different biomes, just different cultures, different things. And it really can expand your mind to how things are in different places.
It's a really interesting thing. One of the comments from Keisha, Sam's Grind says, you cannot grow in your comfort zones. And Kevin, you talked about The Alchemist and how it really emphasizes how that thing that makes you the most uncomfortable is probably the gift that you are not cultivating because you're shying away from it. But it really is the thing that is going to make you who you are. And so it really makes us have to face that challenge that we can't always just sort our way through with ease, feeling like, okay, I got it. You have to sometimes step into those areas that make you uncomfortable so that you can grow.
Exactly. And then with another thing, just to add, because I'm a big believer in giving actionable steps. So when I'm talking about being uncomfortable, you have to change your perspective on a problem. When I see a new problem, which is like every day in my life, I get excited and say, it's a new problem to solve. Time to solve this problem. And then you get the chance to think about how you can go about it. Because because problems are always going to come. So don't ever ask for the problems to go away. Ask yourself, how can I get better? How can I get better? So when the next problem comes, I'm ready to attack it. I got the skill sets. I got the resources. I'm ready to tackle the next thing that's coming. So when you get into these different environments, you get to grow in these uncomfortable environments because you have to expand yourself to tackle the new experiences that you've never seen before. And you just got to rely on, constantly reading books, expand your network, nurturing your network, and just nurturing your soul, honestly. So then you can grow, because no matter what, a business the business, when you actually have a business, the business can't grow if that individual is not growing. So if you want to expand your business, that individual needs to expand himself, herself as well, expand themselves, so then they can embrace more opportunities. Because when you start expanding yourself, other people around the world starts relating to you, and then you start recruiting talent because they see that, wow, this person was able to go into the fire and come out like the Phoenix sun. What the Phoenix bird is
rising like a phoenix.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody said on here, Sheka, being you have to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mary.
So I think that really says a lot about what you guys are sharing from your perspectives on studying internationally. I think that is amazing, and we're so stoked to hear your story.
Yeah, thank you.
Tammy and I are problem solvers as well. So with part of our company, we also are publishers. So come into a bookstore near you soon. Kevin and Max's International Adventures. You all can tell these stories to our children so they can know what's possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it's great to hear not just your story, but to hear the passion that you have about making education in that space that we all occupy, not just more manageable, but something that's going to be more meaningful for our children. So we really give you kudos for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you all for joining us. And make sure in the comments on Facebook, add how people can get in touch with you, your website. I put your email addresses up as well, so that they will know how to get the software and get in touch with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
And guys, are you already, I know that you all are probably well into getting ready for next year, but let people know, like, when are your trainings already full? What do you have coming up? So if people are interested, they can kind of get in touch with you so you can start some of that summer discussion.
Definitely. So like right now we're in a position of talking to a couple of states, Washington State, South Carolina, New Jersey, on setting up pilots and doing the logistics on when we're going to do the training with them. So we're also talking to school districts and in Arkansas as well, who would want to do demos. So like this summer coming up is more focused on relationship building with the superintendents and principals who would think of the logistics of what does the fall look like and what are their personal goals. So we'll talk to leaders around the world, where this summer is more focused on talking to leaders in educations on like how they envision their 2021, 2022 will look like. And then we will basically position ourselves, depending on how you would like to use our software, on starting on what date you will start. So we know some people are starting on August 9th, August 10th. So then we can align it with your professional development, and we'll get in contact with your IT person or your academic point of contact. And then we'll just set the person up regarding the fall. So more summer's used to getting ready for the fall and spring semester.
Well, that's awesome, guys. Thank you all so much. We will definitely let people know about your software and how much you all have been able to help educators pivot during this time. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yep,
this is amazing.
Yep.
Enjoy every second of it.
We're going to put you all backstage and bring up our featured authors for story time. Thank you, guys.
Yes, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay.
We're so excited about our dynamic duo tonight. Thank you guys for being with us. So let us introduce our authors for this evening. Life is a story. Stories are lessons, and lessons are the footprints of your experiences in life. LaShone L. Grimes and Bessie L. Ferguson are mother-daughter authors from Savannah, Georgia. LaShone Grimes has a Bachelor of Science in Early Elementary Education from Armstrong State College now Georgia Southern University, and a master's in public administration from Savannah State University. She is also the author of an empowerment book titled More Than a Pretty Face, Empowering Women to Love and Value Their Inner Beauty. It motivates and empowers women, teen girls to maintain their self-confidence. Additionally, she is the first lady of Maranatha Church International with her husband, Pastor Wayne Grimes. Bessie L. Ferguson has a Bachelor of Science and a Master's of Early Elementary Education, specializing in reading from Savannah State College, which is now Savannah State University. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and Maranatha Church International. Thank you, ladies, and welcome to the Collaborative. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. We are so excited to be here with you all ladies today. It's quite a blessing, and we are excited about our storytelling time. Well, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Busy Bee.
And I'm Queen Bee.
And we are ready for our audience to travel with Queen Bee and Busy Bee in our Bumblebees on the Run story time. So listen, are you ready? Because we are ready.
We are ready.
Yes, we are ready. We're going to turn it over to you guys. We're going to remove ourselves and let you have it so that everyone can see the story large. And let me change the setting here.
Okay.
And I'm going to take myself out, and you can share your screen. We are excited to hear about the bumblebees.
Yes, bumblebees on the run. We are excited as well. And I'm sure that everyone is going to enjoy this story that we have written for our children, our little ones. Because as you know, our little ones are our future. And so we have to make sure that we are spending time with them, with reading and encouraging them to be their very best. So Queen Bee, are you ready?
I am so ready.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. We are on our way.
So Bumblebees on the Run. Our illustrator is Pearlie Jones. And of course, it's written by myself, LaShone L. Grimes, and my beautiful mother, Bessie L. Ferguson. So we are the dynamic story duo. Bumblebees on the Run. The honeycomb is full of busy bees making honey. Oh my gosh.
Look at the honeycomb.
Do you see that?
It is so full of bumblebees, and they are all making honey. I think they're working together. Oh, that is so beautiful.
I think they're full of teamwork. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yes,
teamwork.
They're full of teamwork.
Working together. That is so important.
Working together.
We have one, I have one great grand who is 2 years old, and we've been working with him, and now he says we're working together.
That's right.
Bumblebees on the run.
I can see 3 bees, little bees working now. They are carrying nectar up and down the honeycomb. I think those bees are busy.
I mean, they are so busy.
They're busy working and producing so much honey.
So much honey. Look at that.
Oh,
in the different colors.
Yes. Blue.
Yes.
Black. Red. There are so many colors.
So many colors. Come here, little bees. Look at all the honey we've made. They are so happy.
Yes, they are.
Teamwork.
Working together.
Yes, strength.
Where is my funny, big funny blue bee? The funny blue bee is not working.
Wonder why he's not working.
What happened to the funny blue bee?
Oh my goodness, what happened?
Do you think he's taking a break?
I think he is taking.
He
But
may be taking
oh my
a break.
goodness, he's taking a break. You think?
But he should be working.
He should be working. That's right. Because we got work to do. We got to get that honey.
That's right.
We got to help that bee, queen bee.
We have to make sure Queen Bee is getting all the honey that she needs.
Yes.
Can you see a yellow
queen bee? Oh yes.
I think we see the
that
yellow
color
one.
is yellow.
The yellow queen bee.
Yes. Yes.
They're working. They're busy.
Look at the bees.
Look at our pretty little bees there.
Yes.
They have different color hats on.
Oh, yes.
And they are gorgeous. Let's find out what's going to happen next.
More honey, please, said the queen. She wants more.
She needs more. She loves honey.
Loves honey.
More honey, please. And then she said it again. More honey, please. Oh, my goodness. She's in her honeycomb and she's begging for more honey.
More honey.
More honey, because honey, it helps our bodies. It's good for our skin.
Yes, it's good.
It's good in our teeth.
So many things.
It sure is. More honey, please.
We must make honey for the queen. But we need 2 more bees to help.
Oh my
We
goodness.
gotta have them to help.
That's right. It's all about teamwork. So guess what? I think the blue bee, the green bee, the purple bee, they're saying yes. We're there to help. We're so excited about helping our queen bee because we are the busy bees.
Yes.
Now, go and find my red and yellow bees. It won't be hard. They are not far. So guess what? We're going to do this little activity, whereas we're going to point out all the red and yellow bees. Queen bee, how many yellow bees do you see there?
Oh my goodness, there are so many yellow bees.
Yes, I think I see 1,
Oh, 2,
2, and 3, 4, even 5.
5.
Oh my goodness, I see 5 yellow bees.
Harry has been counting those yellow bees.
He sure has.
It's like I said, he's 2 years old and he's already into it.
Yes, he's counting the yellow and blue bees. Now, can you help me find the 1 blue bee in the honeycomb? Oh, where do you think that blue honeybee is?
1 blue bee.
It's in the honeycomb. Where is it?
Where is?
Oh, I see the blue bee. I think I see it. Oh, he's
right
there. That's the blue bee in the honeycomb. Now let's find out what's next here.
Yes. Yeah. We found all the bees. Look at the honey we've made.
So now we are now the top honey honors. We found all of the blue bees, the yellow bees, and now we are saying, well done.
Well done.
Because you found all of the bees. Because we're working as a team.
Yes.
And now we're going to say our special poem that we love to share with our audience. Queen Bee, are you ready?
I am ready. So ready.
Bumblebees, bumblebees on the run, harvesting greatness in the sun. We are having so much fun reading and enjoying Bumblebees Book 1.
Bumblebees Book 1.
Thank you so much for joining our Busy Bee and Queen Bee story time. Because we know that as you begin to read, you will begin to lead. Because readers are leaders. Thank you so much for joining us with our Queen Bee and Busy Bee story time. Thank you again.
That was awesome.
We enjoyed it.
Thank you, ladies.
You're
We
welcome.
loved it.
Thank you so much. And we would like to share certain things that was in the story. In Bumblebees on the Run, as you notice, all of the words, some of the words were underlined. So what we wanted to do was to reinforce and get the children to learn those 40 pre-primer adult sight words. So all of the 40 pre-primer adult sight words are underlined in the story, with the beautiful honeybee and the busy bees working together, making honey. We wanted it to be very interactive and engaging for the students. So as they begin to learn the words, they'll say, wait a minute, I remember the blue bee on page 6. And that word says the.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was some of the things that we wanted to do with Bumblebees on the Run.
It's the first 40 words, pre-primer level. So they must learn that in order to be a skillful reader.
That's right.
That's awesome. We're glad that you all explained that and let teachers and parents know how this can be utilized as a resource for teaching reading to children. So this is awesome. And it was very engaging. So thank you so much for being on with us. And we look forward to continuing to work with you all.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too now.
Put your purchase information in the comments as well. So those individuals who would definitely be interested in purchasing will be able to access it.
Sure, I'll do that.
Thank you. I'll put you backstage while you're doing that. Thank you. Well, this has been our episode of the Collaborative. We hope that you all got a lot of great information from it. I'm going to just share our website quickly with you so that you can see where we will be posting our information about Tammy being in the blog. As you can see on our website here, Create and Educate LLC. NWEA is an affiliate of ours, and we will post the link to the blog as soon as it comes out, which is next week. So is it next week, Tammy?
It may be as early as tomorrow. I think it, we'll see.
Well, if it's tomorrow, we will definitely have it up there tomorrow. So visit our website, www.createandeducate.solutions. We'll put that in the comments as well. And thank you all for joining us. We will see you guys next Tuesday on the Collaborative. We'll also put up the information about Brayley's tour, our free virtual literacy events that will help you be able to kick off summer reading. And we also have some summer reading lists that will be coming out for you. Juneteenth is this Saturday. So I'm a part of the Juneteenth Chester committee. We will be premiering our celebration video to commemorate that on Friday. So I will post that on the Create and Educate page, along with a local author who's right next door to us, Carlo Dawson, who has written a book about Juneteenth. So we will post that information about her book along with our premiere video on Friday. And Saturday, we will have some great roundtable discussions, community discussions that will post to the Juneteenth page, as well as some pastoral conversation roundtables that will post. So lots of great things coming up. We can't wait to see you guys back here next Tuesday. We have some awesome guests that will be advertising on the page coming up next week. So thank you guys. And we're going to close out, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes,
Let me
have a good night. Thank you, guys.
Video. Thank you all.
Join Sheka and Tammy on the Collaborative. Let's go!
The Collaborative.
1, 2, 1, 2.
The Collaborative.
What's that time?
On Facebook Tuesday at 7. The Collaborative.
The Collaborative.